Have you guys ever wondered why the Tour Pro's irons sound so much different than yours? Well, it's because of something I call the compression code. And we're gonna jump into it and we're gonna fix your irons if you're struggling with weak strikes and not getting any oomph and, bam, behind them, then this is the video for you. All right, so first, let me debunk some myths that are kind of floating around and some ideas that I've heard and that I think everybody's heard, to be fair. And that's the notion of having to hit down more to compress the ball more. So actually, that is not true. You don't want to hit down more to compress the ball more because there's actually a certain maximum amount that you want to hit down on your ball before the ball just starts sliding off your face and the ball will start sliding up the face without taking any spin. That's why you'll start hitting really high weak shots, sometimes and most of the time to the right. And hitting more down on your irons really isn't necessarily what you want to do. You don't want to start increasing the angle of attack more and more. And this is what that would look like, kind of just coming more down on the ball, because that's just going to take spin from you. You're going to dig into the ground. You're really going to struggle with your wrists. It's not going to be great. And especially off of mats, it's not what you want to do. Here's what you do want to do. You want to make sure that we move our low point of the club more in front of the ball, meaning towards the target. So think about that difference. When I say don't hit down more, that means I don't want to hit more down on the ball in the same spot. Rather, I want to start having this, even if I had the same angle of attack, I want to move my low point in front of the ball more towards the target. So that doesn't actually make my angle of attack steeper, but what it does is it actually compresses the ball more because you're going to hit the ball before you hit the ground. So that is the difference. It's a subtle one, guys, but I'm sure you guys have understood this now, that there's a big, big, big difference. This also is very huge in chipping. It's not just in the big swing. So how do we do it, right? How do we move our center of gravity? How do we move the low point of our club forward? And there's a couple of things and a couple of steps to doing it. So let's talk about it. I've talked about this a little bit in some of my first videos, but it has a lot to do with your big muscles, with how your body operates, with how your weight shifts through transition. So I like to do this without a club a lot of the time before we actually bring it back into the equation. So I want to make sure that while we're going through impact, right, at this crucial time of impact, I want to make sure that our weight is actually moving towards the target and our low point is moving towards the target. The worst thing that can happen is for us at impact to start moving away. If our weight is moving away from the target through impact, that's what's going to cause these weak right shots and you got to bottom out first, right? And why does this happen? It's because we haven't quite efficiently moved our weight in the backswing. So we want to make sure that in the backswing, we feel like that weight goes onto the right heel and we want to really feel that right hip deep in a deep turn. Some people slide away like this. And when you slide with your hips, then you're going to slide backwards going forward and see how that is exactly what we talked about. What we don't want to do, we don't want our center of mass to be moving backwards. So we really got to feel like our weight at setup. I like to feel my weight on the inside of my back foot, not on the outside. So this is a key piece for your backswing. Never feel like your weight goes on the outside of your back foot because this makes you slide. Do you see that? If you stack that weight on the inside of your back foot and then you turn, you'll automatically feel that hip go back and you automatically can now push off of this. And I want you to try this. If you are letting that weight get to the outside of your right foot, exaggeratedly on the backswing like this, now, try to push off your right foot. Try to push off the back foot. It's extremely difficult to push off to the target because I have nothing to push off of. I'm almost like rolling my ankle, right? I don't have any stability. I'm not connected to the ground well. So now, if you preset that weight a little bit on the inside of your trail foot, now when we're turning back, that hip goes back, and now you feel like you can push off. Now we're really in a really strong position. It's just like when you're jumping, right? These like side jumps, if you're doing these things, you wouldn't be able to jump from here. That's very, very difficult. So to make sure that we can move our center of gravity and the bottom of the club more forward towards the target through impact, we got to make sure we move it correctly going back, which is slightly back while our weight stays on the inside of our trail foot. Then I want to make sure we are shifting our weight. It's going to be a squat into that front leg, just a slight one, no rotation. I've covered this in a separate video at length, so please make sure to go watch it. I've linked it below. But we're going to squat into that front leg a little bit. And now see how our center of gravity is moving right at this top of our backswing, right before we get done. It's almost simultaneously here. We're going to squat. We're going to press off that right foot, and then we're going to explode and let that left hip rotate. But now my center of gravity is forward, but I have not changed my angle of attack. I'm not hitting down on the ball. I've not done anything that is more this way, but I've instead loaded back well, shifted my weight forward, that little squat, and now I'm exploding forward to the target, right? So huge, huge difference, guys. I hope this video makes it clear. You don't want to hit more down on your irons in this compression code. You want to just make sure we're able to move the center of our club face and the lowest point of our swing forward towards the target a little bit more efficiently. This is going to eliminate your chunks. It's going to eliminate your thin shots because it's the same miss, whether you're chunking it behind and then catching the leading edge and the ball goes. So same miss exactly, looks different, but it is exactly the same. It's going to help you really start compressing the ball like the Tour Pros. So let me know if this makes sense. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you've tried it, I think it's going to really, really change your iron game and even your chipping game, because we got to make sure we get that weight back correctly before we can get it forward correctly, which will ultimately get the bottom of our club more forward towards the target. If you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, maybe even switch on that notification button so you get notified every single time I drop a new video for you guys, so you can take it straight to the range.